Welcome to Time Ball Games. I'm ELD, here to ask you for help in growing the channel. When we reach 2,500 subscribers, I'm going to be giving away a custom leather playmat to one lucky subscriber. So be sure to like and subscribe. Welcome to Fast Effect Double Speed Magic: The Gathering from ELD's Time Vault Games in Bellingham, Mass. Here we have Nathan on a bug control list versus Nick on Bug Delver. A brainstorm response to this Thoughtseize. May hide some goodness on top of the deck here for Delver. Maybe a solid turn 2 play. Really, in a control matchup, you're going to need a turn 1 or turn 2 creature and try and keep it down, keep some pressure going. Very difficult to go into the deep waters with control. It's really what they're designed to do. Ideally, Delver not going to have this type of hand. We've got Force of Wills and Dazes. And Daze is taken. Nick could have returned the island. Ooh, and this is the type of card that can let Delver do exactly what I was cautioning them about. Go into the deep end. Something like Hymn to Torok can really cripple their start and potentially make them miss land drops and prevent them from really getting into the game. So Nick now lands a Tarmogoyf, has Force of Will. He was able to hide him and Goyf on top of his deck. And now Goyf is going to start the beatings. That Wasteland mercifully not able to take out Nathan's lone land, which is a swamp. However, this Bayou may not be around for long. Hymn to Torok firing back. Nick can, if he wants, Force of Will. Oh, actually, he's got Force of Negation, leaving just a Force of Will in hand. I'm not sure if I actually read his hand correctly. Oh, it is Force of Will. Interesting. Force of Negation. The drawback of having to use it on your opponent's turn outweighing the fact that it can potentially be hard cast if he finds another blue mana. He's got Force and I believe blue card. He did just ponder. Goyf just beating down. Got a huge shot in the arm when Renin 6 was printed, and that wave kind of continued into the Oko era. Green at one point was one of the worst colors in Legacy, and in between Veil of Summer, Renin 6, Oko, that stock has risen quite a bit, and Tarmogoyf along for the ride as a finisher for both control and aggro decks. Gilded Goose coming down, making a food, which might be able to buy a little bit of time, but oh, Oko comes down for Delver. Also makes a food. And this is looking pretty graphic now. Liliana is going to be able to clear the Force of Will out of Nick's hand. Even if it resolved, I don't think that actually would have been enough. I think that food would have crossed the finish line with Nathan at 3 life. So Delver able to get down that Tarmogoyf. Those Hymn to Torok's not nearly as damaging when you're already winning. If your opponent wants to hymn you and you're ahead on board, I mean, it's always painful to get hymned, and it could potentially allow them to get back into the game. But in terms of, where you want to be, if you're front running and, for example, if you've got a clock where you're going to win in a turn or two, if they hymn you, really doesn't address that. It's one of the difficult things. I think hymn tends to be better in the aggro decks because of that. When you're able to hymn someone and you've already got a clock going, I mean, that's just so much more brutal to fight them on the 2 axes, both on the battlefield and in the hand. And of course, these Bug Delver decks able to also fight on the stack very well with counter spells and a little bit of mana denial too. So Bug Delver can kind of do it all. Now, the only thing it's really missing is pressuring the life total. That's one of the main flavor differences between Bug Delver and like Blue-Red Delver or Grixis Delver. The Blue-Red builds can potentially win even if your opponent is able to keep your creatures off the board. You can potentially bolt them out of the game. Bug really doesn't have that type of reach, but I mean, it has a whole lot of other ways that it can fight that battle. And Lightning Bolt and company, I think, probably get a lot worse with the introduction of food. So these are matches from the end of last year, and food is still certainly was a newer thing then. We've had 6 months since this time to get acquainted with exactly what the ability to gain 3 life for 2 mana means in these type of aggro matchups, and I contend that it is certainly much more of an issue versus a deck sleeving up cards like Lightning Bolt than it is a deck like Bug Delver, which is looking to, just gain control and grind you out, not have that burst to get over the finish line. Delver of Secrets turn 1, kind of ideal into Baleful Strix, though, for Nathan. He's got to use the food to fix his mana. Daze is revealed, flipping Delver, and now Hymn to Torok with Daze potential backup. Even if Nathan had something like a Fatal Push, now would not be the time, as Daze is a known card in his hand. Baleful Strix and Gilded Goose. Team Bird here is interrupted by a Fatal Push and a swing for 3 from Delver. Oh, and another Baleful Strix. That is rough. Rough going. We're going to see a double Daze here. Daze returning an island, and then hard cast off of this. Oh, he's not hard casting it. He actually just opting to return that second land. I don't know if that's a autopilot decision. Oh, and just spending the Veil of Summer, actually. Wow. A Baleful Strix of his own. Veil of Summer, a very high value card being thrown out there just to cycle a card. Very surprising, especially given the black removal, which could be a big problem. In particular, Abrupt Decay. Gilded Goose making some food. And another Baleful Strix. I've never seen so many owls here. We've got a Force of Will pitching Daze. And now Brainstorming in response to this Fatal Push. Got to put 2 back, untap and draw. And that's where that Veil of Summer would have been fantastic, is protecting that Delver. And Nathan's got a bit of a stacked hand here. It looks like Goyf. Is that a Leovold? This could go very wrong very quickly. Oh, but actually Nick's got a Tarmogoyf coming down. So this likely will just wrap up pretty soon. Goyf going to be a lot to deal with such a short window. Three mana. All that time, Daze sitting in hand, not able to stop any plays, eventually pitch to force. And now it looks like Nathan's going to be able to tap out, make the best use of his mana. He plays a land for turn, brainstorms, and now has another Baleful... Oh, he can't. Doesn't have the right color mana. That Gilded Goose has been doing a lot of heavy lifting. Nathan's got a decision to make about whether or not he sacrifices this goose now or later. He can throw it in front of the Goyf. He'll make a food, let it go, and now Thoughtseize is going to grab that Baleful Strix. That is likely going to do it. Can Nathan hold on here? This is an awful lot of pressure. Can he find a way to force a game 3? He ponders. An Assassin's Trophy. Takes out this Goyf. Baleful Strix swings in. That food token represents 3 extra life. That is an eternity when we're talking about Baleful Strix chipping in for 1 damage at a time. Leovold can potentially swing this back, and now Nick's mana base suddenly looking suspect, down to just 2 lands. Baleful Strix chips in. Nathan may be able to pull this one out. No, Leovold is actually destroyed there, allowing Nathan to draw a card again, kind of playing into that deep water strategy. He's going to have a fistful of cards left versus Nick being hellbent with just a Baleful Strix on play. A Wasteland takes out another one of Nick's lands. He draws one off the top to replace it, but that's not really what he needs here. He needs some type of board presence. Just continuing to chip away one at a time. That feels very unlikely that's going to be good enough to get there. He ponders. There's just so many things that can get in the way of this 1 damage a turn. And Goyf, now that is a legit threat. That likely will wrap this up in just 1 more turn if Nathan doesn't have an answer for it. Let's see what this small handful of cards can do for him. Nothing. He draws off the top, and that Goyf is going to be enough to close things out as Nick takes it down in an exciting 2 games for Delver. That is all for this one, but don't worry, there is a lot more. You can check out our older videos, and we're always putting out new videos from ELD's Time Vault Games in Bellingham, Massachusetts. If you want to help the channel, of course, you can like, subscribe, share, tap that notification bell so you can know the next time our new videos come out. Thanks for watching.